we have our sheriff's office, and we have Sheriff Luke Bingham here, Sheriff Corner, to come up and give his presentation.
Good afternoon, Board.
Afternoon.
So as you guys well know, the Sheriff's Office has a lot under our umbrella, from Operations and Corrections, Coroners Division, OES, Administration. So my intent is to give a brief overview of some of the statistics that we generally track within the Sheriff's Office with an update on our department, and then certainly open to any questions that the Board may have or the public may have of anything that I may have missed that is of concern or a question for the department. So obviously, you know, I kind of feel like a broken wheel here when I'm talking about this, but, you know, staffing isn't always an issue with a lot of departments. We've made some inroads this year. In 2024, we had 13 new hires within the Sheriff's Office, 4 in deputy ranks, 3 in corrections, 1 in dispatch, 3 correctional aides, an evidence tech, and 1 900-hour for our boats that will be out this summer. So that was great movement for us. We're, I believe, 1 away from fully staffed in our corrections, so that is really great. We're looking, right now we have our patrol staff back onto a team concept instead of a scattered shift like we had before, and we're hoping that sometime in February we'll be able to get our correctional staff off of mandatory 12-hour shifts and back into a team concept as well. Our stats, let's see. So our stats are up there. A little bit of an increase this year in 2024 from 2023. We went up 1,000 incidents responded to in 2024 from over 2023. There could be a variety of reasons for that. I don't want people to think that crime has risen in Lake County. By our stats, it hasn't. It's staying the same. But we have also reduced some of our online reporting, that we're not sending people to online reporting. We're actually sending deputies out to calls for service because we have that increased staffing in patrol now. And then just simply by having more deputies on the street, we have more proactive enforcement, more car stops, which are going to generate more incidents in our reports. We currently have 2 in the FTO program right now. As far as deputies are concerned, we have 1 that we hired yesterday as a deputy trainee, and we're running a deputy trainee recruitment in March to hopefully get some more deputies so we can send to the Siskiyou Academy. Right now, I believe my deputy numbers, it says 7 there, but those include those 2 cannabis positions. With the 1 we hired yesterday, we have 4 open positions in our deputy ranks right now. We eliminated the sheriff corner assistant position within the sheriff's office. I felt that as the sheriff, I didn't need an assistant, keeping my calendar and doing that kind of work. And I created an administrative staff position, just recreated that position as administrative staff position because I felt that that was more appropriate for the department, and it goes along with some of my visions for the department that I'll talk about when I come to 2025. Next slide. I think we missed one there. There's one. No? Okay, well, it somehow it didn't get in there. I apologize. But the copter program, I wanted to go over that. I think that was a great thing. We started with the Roadmaps Task Force, and we, CDD and the Sheriff's Office got together, and we looked at the 2023, we looked at our Roadmaps Task Force. We looked at lessons learned and how can we make this process better. We revamped it as the copter program, and we moved it to the North Shore and East Lucerne in that area. And we looked at how we were doing business and how that program was working, and we kind of bifurcated that so that both departments can work separately and independently of each other, but when they had cases that overlapped, then we would come together in that collaborative effort and work together. So within that, we have quite a few stats in there. They've been doing a great job, and again, it's focused on, you know, quality of life, the issues that are within the community that we're focusing on there. So that has been a great asset to the county and the department. In 2024, we increased our outreach, which I think we're missing that slide. I don't know what happened, but so I'll just go over that real quick. We increased our outreach, going in the community, different events. One of the things that I'm very proud of is Sergeant Gary Frace at the time, who's now been recently promoted to Lieutenant Gary Frace, who will be taking over Patrol Division, had our fentanyl program. He went out to all of the schools. He presented the fentanyl program in all the schools in collaboration with Stop the Void. And we presented to over 4,500 students in Lake County about fentanyl and the dangers of fentanyl, with a lot of Narcan that was distributed to the community, so we can hopefully prevent those overdoses and issues that we have with fentanyl in our community. And now we can go to 20 points of emphasis. So new coming into this office, a couple of things that I really focused on, and I've talked about this with a couple of board members, is one, I want to get back to SROs. I think that's very important. I want to get back to a beat-oriented deputy assignments. That's where I have deputies that are assigned to a specific beat year-round for 1 year. That's where they're assigned. Every day that they go to work, they work in that beat. They get to know the community, they get to know the business owners, they go to the community meetings, they go to the community events, and they're that liaison to the sheriff's office. They're hearing what's going on in the community, they're hearing what the community problems are, and then they're coming back and they're reporting that to the administration so that we can then look at how we're providing law enforcement to those communities and adjust as needed based on that information from the community. I also want to increase training in the sheriff's office.
Can I just ask a question about the beat shifts, which I'm very excited about?
Yes.
When's the timing on that, do you think?
Staffing dependent.
Right.
That's what I can say. If I can get another 4 deputies on the street, then I can go to this beat assignment program that I want. I need 4 more deputies.
You need to hire 4 more.
I need to hire 4 more and get them on the street.
Okay, perfect.
And then I can go to the beat assignment program, which is what I want. Because again, that's part of the thing that I feel is very important, is listening to the community, hearing from the community. Because again, and I don't want to go too far off the rails, I'll make this really quick. I can't provide law enforcement to Middletown the same way that I provide law enforcement to Lucerne. Every community is unique. Every community has different problems, and I need to know what those are so that I can adjust my enforcement and how we tailor that to each community as what's needed in that community. So on top of that, back to points of emphasis for 2025, I want to increase training in the sheriff's office. We're already working on a training program to not only meet the state post minimums of perishable skills training, but to also increase that in the off years. The more training we can provide to our deputies, the more confident they are, the less likelihood that they're going to make a mistake, and the better they're going to serve our community. So I definitely want to increase the training. Few things that I just found out, as a matter of fact, today, and finally, we're going to finally be able to get the Goat Mountain repeater up and on Goat Mountain, which has been a huge problem that I'm sure the board has been aware of because of the road. It's been a struggle for the last year to get it up there. I just found out today that we have a plan. We're going to have it up there probably in the next month and a half, and we're going to increase the radio coverage for both law enforcement and fire in the Spring Valley, Indian Valley, all the way out to Highway 20 and the Colusa County line, which is huge.
That's huge.
It's been a 5-year project, and we're finally going to come to completion on that, hopefully in 2025. And then just let know the board about some recent promotions that recently took place because of, obviously, my move from undersheriff to the sheriff position, is that Captain Corey Pollich was recently promoted to my undersheriff, so he will be serving as my undersheriff. Lieutenant Gavin Wells was promoted to captain, and he has taken over the corrections division. And then, as I said, Sergeant Frace was promoted to lieutenant, and he will be taking over my patrol division, or patrol bureau. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm open to any questions.
Supervisor Sabatier.
That goat rock repeater was almost a joke conversation over at the Fire Chiefs Association. I'm sure they're excited and probably still hesitant to believe at this moment in time. So we'll see.
I actually got the email while I was sitting here waiting to come up that we finally have a plan. It's a go. We're going to get it up there.
I think we even offered to do a tank to go up there through that mud.
Yes.
So awesome that might happen. I'm crossing my fingers that can get completed. Quick question, not a question. I just wanted to make a comment because I don't think that comment's been made and put out there. I know that staff is aware, the board is aware, but we submitted to the California State Association of Counties the Roadmap Task Force project for an innovation award. We won the statewide innovation award. I'm kind of smirking at that, thinking proactive policing is innovative, but I think it's the numbers behind it and the fact that we're using cannabis tax dollars behind all of that as well. So appreciate what the task force has done to get us recognized for the work that is being done here, and obviously everyone on the team should be real proud and should be acknowledged for their work on that. So just wanted to make that.
Thank you. Yeah, and if I missed that acknowledgement, I mean, I could come up here and talk to the board as the sheriff, but the reality of it is, it's the people in the department, it's the deputies, it's the correctional officer or correctional deputies, and everybody that does the work that is out there with the numbers and making this happen and making our community safe. They're doing the work. So big thank you to them and to the board for your guys' support over the years.
Any other questions?
I do.
Okay.
I think I spoke to you about, can you hear me okay? I think I spoke to you about looking into perhaps adding some programs with the schools offering the heavy, but to be able to do the juniors, seniors, kind of offering some pre-law to kind of get them interested, as well as kind of an outreach program. Have you had any, I know they just hired you, but I just wanted to throw it out there again.
Yes, it is definitely on my radar. I like the idea. And it's community engagement, community involvement.
Yep.
The more we can get in the community, the more they see the deputies as, just people. We're doing a job. We're trying to keep our community safe and serve our communities. It's great just simply for that fact, but then to maybe get some recruitment out of that. Like you said, I've been in office for 3.5 weeks, and I've been running 7 days a week, so.
Same day.
So, well, just to follow up on that, what's the timeline for getting SROs in all the schools?
Again, it's staffing.
Yeah.
Again, it's staffing. Honestly, it's easier to go to the beat-oriented than it is SROs at this point. I would have to weigh that option depending on my staffing and where the real need was. If I wanted to do SROs, we're talking 9 deputies.
Yeah.
I have the bare minimum right now. And if we wanted beat-oriented and we want SROs, we'd have to put on another 9 patrol deputies.
I think they both offer a lot of ways for community engagement and
Absolutely.
being present. And I know you'll make the best decision for your team. But I think, both ways are great until we have enough to do both programs.
Yes.
All right. With that, I'll open it up to the public. If there's anyone from the public that would like to make a comment on this presentation or has a question. All right. With that, I'll close public input. Thank you, Sheriff Bingham. I just hearing you talk about the jail being pretty much, that, and then the dispatch, we knew that was the problem that was keeping us from deputies on the streets or beat or, and I like that idea about the beat. I always thought about and heard about it from the past. I remember when Macedo, when he was a deputy back then, he used to patrol the area in Nice and Upper Lake and Lucerne, and that was that, I guess, initiative back then, and it's nice to see it coming back. All right.
Yeah, I really like that too. I think I might have mentioned it to you. You get to know the officers in that area, and they do get to know the public and the people and who they can rely on, as well as they're kind of watching your officers' backs as well.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
And it's huge because it gives the community that one point of contact versus calling the sheriff's office and getting a different deputy every time.
Mm-hmm.
For the business owners, they know who to call.
Mm-hmm.
They know that I call this deputy, and they may not be working, but I provide them the information, and they can pass that on to the next shift or the sergeant, and we can get that problem resolved.
Yeah, I think I told you, growing up as a kid, the sheriff would pull over my mom to ask her how the cow business was.
Yep.
I was going to say that's how we all grew up here. Yes. We knew exactly who was working in our neighborhoods. And following up on what you were just saying, Chair Crandall, it's taken years to get to this point. It's taken a lot of years of creative ideas with staffing, of incentives, of moving money around. And in the last 4 years, we've just made so much progress. So I'm excited to keep doing that. I'm so excited to see that that we're getting to the places where we need to be. Still have a way to go, but
We do have a ways to go, but I'm hopeful. We're seeing more applications. We're seeing more interest from 2 years ago till today. Just the administrative assistant position that we flew for. 2 years ago, we have gotten 2 or 3 people putting applications. We had over 56 applications for the administrative staff position. So to me, that just gives me hope for the future.
Nice.
Moving
Nice.
forward.
great.
All right, well, Sheriff Bingham, thanks again. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks for your hard work.
Thank you.